If something is attacking your body or attacking your right to live or your ability to live, do you not have the right to defend yourself?
That is the craziest argument for abortion I've probably ever heard in my life.
Like, they show you the process of how they're about to abort your baby.
They typically do not do that.
Even if they did do that, this sounds like she's anti-abortion. Yeah, they're painful, they're terrible. It kind of sounds like they're unnatural to do.
And I believe in self-defense. I believe in the right to own a gun and defend yourself, as do you. You believe in self-defense? Is abortion not a form of self-defense? If something is attacking your body or attacking your right to live or your ability to live, do you not have the right to defend yourself?
Wait, what? Is she talking about abortion? There's no way she was referring to... Nah, I'm not going to speak too soon. Because I'm in college too. So me and these young women are the same age. This should be interesting.
Affirmative action, especially going to a public school, especially in Florida, a super Republican state.
Yeah.
Like, I think a lot of people will look at me and think that, like, I'm unqualified or I live in the ghetto or I don't know what I'm talking about just because I'm black, I'm a woman, I must be unqualified. But, like, I'm a mechanical engineering major. I help tutor, like, everybody I know. I've volunteered at church camps every summer for, like, the past 10 years. Like, I'm a very good person. I think I'm pretty educated, but I know there's so many, like...
And I'm an optoelectronics engineer getting a master's degree right now. We're pretty similar. We both wearing glasses too. But I didn't look at you and see that you're uneducated. And I hope no one looked at you and thought that you were uneducated. Do y'all look at me and think I'm uneducated? I never thought that. I never thought that way before. So that's interesting to hear. But let's continue.
Schools and places of employment that will look at me and just be like, you're unqualified because you're black and you're a woman, even if I have the same exact resume as other people applying who actually got the job, just because they're white or because they're male or because they fit the stereotypical customer service worker. Like, and I just don't think it's fair. I think DEI should be a thing that should be implemented all over the country. I think it's something that's based off our Constitution and diversity and inclusion.
I would much rather talk about your stance on abortion.
On abortion? Okay.
Yes.
How do you feel about abortion?
I am anti-abortion.
You're anti-abortion?
In all cases.
Okay. Why are you anti-abortion?
Because I believe life begins at conception.
Really?
And so that is a human being, and human beings deserve rights. Every single person in the world deserves rights, beginning at conception, because they are genetically and biologically human beings.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So what are some other options you would suggest to somebody who's looking to have an abortion, so I can understand where you're coming from?
Yes. So first of all, I don't think that the option to have an abortion should ever even legally be allowed. I don't think it should
be.
No
cases at all.
Right. And no. Can you hold that for me? Thank you. Yeah. No cases at all. There's never a medically necessary reason to have an abortion. That's right. Yeah. At all.
Okay,
at all.
Okay. I have a question though. Do you believe in the Second Amendment?
I do.
Do you own a gun?
Several.
Okay.
Yeah.
So why do you believe in the Second Amendment?
Considering the fact that the most children deaths in America are from gun violence.
No, it's actually from abortion.
It currently is not, and if you can show me a statistic, I'd be quite happy, or tell me a place to look for that.
Yeah, so the Guttmacher Institute, which is the research arm of Planned Parenthood, they put out statistics for how many abortions are committed by Planned Parenthood, and generally, and from abortion clinics, we don't have the data from everyone, but the data that we do have shows that nearly 1 million children every year are aborted in this country. How many deaths are carried out? How many homicides are carried out via guns?
At this time, I can't say the exact statistic, but if she continues to talk, I can look for that for you.
Yeah, so it's about 13,000 people are killed by the use of firearms. 3 million lives every year are actually saved due to defensive use of firearms.
Okay,
so actually the Second Amendment, I'll get to you, the Second Amendment actually saves lives, and pro-life laws save lives too.
Okay, I agree with the Second Amendment. I agree, and I believe in self-defense. I believe in the right to own a gun and defend yourself, as do you. You believe in self-defense? Is abortion not a form of self-defense? If something is attacking your body or
That is the craziest argument for abortion I've probably ever heard in my life. And I tend to sway away from the abortion debates, but I do find them interesting. Self-defense? That is insane. That is the most insane argument for abortion I have ever heard. I'm not exaggerating. Wow. I don't know how you pulled that one. Wow, let's continue.
Your right to live or your ability to live, do you not have the right to defend yourself?
How is a baby in the womb doing that?
There's so many like illnesses that are like more common when you're pregnant. There's so many issues. Like pregnancies are such a dangerous thing, and abortions aren't just like willy-nilly you stick a firearm up your uterus and the baby's gone. It's painful. The process is extensive. You can bleed for almost a month afterwards. It's painful. It's disgusting. Like it's not. And the people who work at the abortion clinics, they go up when you go in, they give you an ultrasound of your baby. You know that there's something inside of you, and they show you the process of how they're about to abort your baby.
They typically do not do that.
Even if they did do that, this sounds like she's anti-abortion. Yeah, they're painful, they're terrible. It kind of sounds like they're unnatural to do. They give you an ultrasound telling you of your baby. It kind of seems like that you are anti-abortion when you describe it. It sounds like a terrible thing to do. And I'm not trying to pick sides. It genuinely sounds like a terrible thing to do. I'm trying to be objective, hear both debates, leave my personal opinions out of it, because people like to say I'm leaning one side or the other. But what she's saying literally sounds like this is a terrible thing. It's painful. It's terrible. You see ultrasounds of your baby. Why would anyone do this? It sounds like an extremely disgusting thing to do.
If they don't do that, that's on them, but like it's not an easy process. It's painful, it hurts, it lasts.
Sounds like something that shouldn't be a choice for women to engage in.
So is murder, so is self-defense,
and that's illegal. It's illegal to kill someone else, and I'm just saying we should take the laws. I don't kill people.
Okay, but you
just owning a gun does not make me a murderer.
You own a gun, that way if somebody comes into your house and somebody's like attacking your right to live, if somebody comes to you and comes up to you at gunpoint and says they're gonna kill your whole family, you have the right to use self-defense and defend yourself against them, which is why most people own a gun in case of these situations. Although this, like, not every pregnancy is super dangerous where it's affecting your right to live, but you should have that opportunity where if that baby is going to affect your right to live, you should have the ability to abort it and to get rid of it. And unfortunately, we live in a country where adoption, like the adoption system in the US, isn't the greatest. Okay. It's not, like, it's so hard for children to get adopted, especially teenagers.
Okay, so let's focus on one thing at a time, because now you're talking about adoption, but let's talk about threatening someone's right to live. So the womb is the only organ that is made for someone else. A woman does not need her womb to live. That is an organ only for someone else to develop and grow in. That's the purpose of it. So that's where, if a baby is in a womb, that's where they're meant to be. Now, there are cases where pregnancies are really risky and sometimes life-threatening. In that case, I fully support a woman doing what she needs to do for her health and her body, and that does not include purposely killing the child inside of her. So for example, if a woman needs cancer treatment while she's pregnant, she has the right to try and mitigate the cancer and treat the cancer. Now, a side effect of the cancer drugs might be that it causes a miscarriage or a stillbirth. That is a decision that you can't mandate someone to go through with an illness to protect someone else. That's not what we're saying. But I'm saying that if a woman is at risk, she is able to deal with her medical ailments. Now, that does not mean that a baby can be intentionally killed. And I know you're probably talking about ectopic pregnancies, or maybe you're talking about, mental health or things like that.
I don't even know what an ectopic pregnancy is, but what she just said was based. It sounded like a fact to me. Like, yes, if your health is at risk, she basically said, yeah, if your health is at risk, you got to do what you have to do. If you need cancer treatment, get cancer treatment. But what she's saying is there's an underlying disconnect if you're going out of your way to intentionally have an abortion just based off of something that can be mitigated. Like if there's mental health issues and the baby's not affected, why are you going out of your way to get an abortion? I completely understand that. And as a Christian, I have to say I agree with that. I mean, if you're just having the abortion just for the simple purpose of, oh, I don't feel like having a kid, then I don't agree with that. I think there are a million steps to take before someone gets pregnant. You don't just accidentally get pregnant. Of course, there are radical situations that happen in life, and I don't want to go down that path because it could get kind of dark. It can get kind of dark, but there are radical situations that happen. But you're talking about like full-fledged abortions. Majority of abortions are not because of radical situations. They're used as a form of birth control, and I obviously think that's kind of wrong. That's just from a Christian perspective. But let's continue.
Your view, you've already said that there should be no abortion no matter what the option is.
Yes.
And you saying that if somebody has cancer
Yes.
and needs to treat their cancer, but therefore that treatment is going to end up taking the life of whatever is in their womb, the child, or how you perceive it to be. And in my opinion, I do agree to a certain extent that abortion should be cut off at a certain point. I haven't gone, like, this is, for me, I haven't, like, gone too much, like, into abortion, but I do believe that at a certain point, it shouldn't be allowed.
Okay.
But where you're coming from is that if she needed that treatment, she can't save herself because that child is in her womb, and I just don't think that's fair because...
Can I clarify? Could I clarify?
Course.
So a cancer treatment does not require first stopping the heartbeat of a child, and it doesn't involve taking abortion pills that would expel the dead baby from the woman. That's not how a cancer treatment would work. So there is no intentional killing of the child. There is treatment of the
But
mother.
That's not what you said initially. You said that if the treatment itself has a side effect where it could lead to a miscarriage.
It could. It could.
What? So then I don't.
Because we're not intentionally so the cancer treatment isn't to kill the child.
I understand, but
Yeah.
in your case, if that would
not an
lead,
abortion.
if that would lead to it, though,
It's not an abortion.
But
regardless, there's maternal illnesses, that when you're pregnant, you will die if you go through with the birth of your baby. That's just science. Regardless if you believe in that.
What are you talking
I
about?
don't
What
know
examples?
I can look them up for you, but I'm saying there's I don't know the exact names of them. I'm a mechanical engineering major. I don't know the exact, but I know for a fact that there's people.
Pregnancies where the baby's growing outside of the uterus.
Yes. So an ectopic pregnancy can actually be dealt with in a very pro-life manner. So we are not going in there with the intention. We are going in there with the intention of saving the mother's life by cutting out.
Made a good point.
I know, but I'm talking to you guys, and
I
so
mean,
if you want me to talk to
that's
her, we
fair.
can end the conversation here, and I can talk to her instead. But I'm telling you about ectopic pregnancies. There is a pro-life way to deal with those, and that is to go in without the intentional killing of a child. So we're not there to kill the child. We're there to remove the ectopic, the tube that is affected, and will kill the mother if it is not dealt with. That is unfortunate and such an awful thing for a woman to deal with. But it is not an abortion because it is not the intentional killing of a child. I guess we might differ on what we consider an abortion. An abortion, by definition, is the intentional killing of a child in the womb. That's what it's for.
Can you explain one more time how you would go about it, like fixing an atopic pregnancy?
So
you
it's-
said. Can you explain how you do it?
So it's an ectopic pregnancy. It actually has its own term. It's its own medical term. It's not an abortion.
Okay.
That's not. We're not going, and they're not giving the woman pills to first poison the baby and starve the baby and make the baby come out of the uterus and dead on the floor. That's not what's happening. They're going in there surgically to remove.
An ectopic pregnancy occurs when a fertilized egg implants on the outside of the uterus, usually in a fallopian tube. All in all, an ectopic pregnancy is when there's a complication in a pregnancy that can lead to a miscarriage. I don't really know a lot about abortions, but I will say in this debate, Caitlin Bennett does make more sense. I try not to speak too much on things I don't really understand a lot about, but using abortion as a form of self-defense, I'm not going to lie, that's one of the, I don't even know how that became an argument. I've never heard that one. That was very, very, very unexpected. But anyways, if you like videos like this, comment down below. My name is LFR JoJo, and I'll see you in the next one.